Hey everybody, it's Designer Dan coming to you at Christmas time. I know I promised you all last week during our Friday drawing that I would do a quick little bow session with you. So what I did was I've got some packages here waiting for bows. My family is all back east, or mostly back east, so I've got to ship these out. I already told my mother she wasn't allowed to watch this video just in case I mentioned anything about what was in them. So, but I'm going to show you how to do one real quick. So this is a shirt size box, got it wrapped. I make sure that I have an array of papers around all year long. I buy them all year. I mean, I can spend $1.99 on a roll. I can spend $16 on a roll. I don't care. I like to have a big selection so I can mix them all up like you see here. And then I also buy ribbon all year long. These two happen to be from Costco. So they were a terrific price. They're a huge roll. This one is red on the front, green on the back, and they're all wired ribbon, which is great fun to work with, okay? Because the other thing is, especially when you're shipping, when I mail these out, the bows are going to get crushed in the box, but since they're wired, you just fluff them up when they come out of the box, put them under the tree, and it's like an extra decoration. All right, so let's get started real fast. This is a birthday present for my father. So I got this great paper, and I'm going to add the ribbon, and what I love is that I'm going to be able to use both sides here, okay? The first thing I like to do, at least in this, is when I divide it, is go 1, 2, that's width and length, 3, 4, plus a little extra, and that way I can tie off the box, okay? Get it kind of even. 1, 2, this is the real easy part, okay? Pull that taut. I like my ribbon and bow to be tight, and then it's not flopping around, all right? So, all right, and here we go. So, all I really want to do right now, guys, is tie this down tight, all right? And so that's knotted. Now comes the bow part. Guys, this is so easy. You're going to love me for this. So, here's my ribbon, right? I'm just going to pull a certain amount off. Any amount will do, depending on the size of the bow you want is the size of the loops. So I want this bow to be kind of a nice size. So I don't like it to go over the size of the box, but I want it to be substantial enough. That's probably about 6 inches. So I just made a loop, see? Now I'm just going to keep counting out the loops. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and when I do it, depending on the size of the bow or the size of the loops, you might want to increase the size or the number of loops you make. In this case, I'm doing about 8, which is a nice size for this type of package, okay? So, we've just made this ring, okay, with 8 loops of ribbon. Now, we're going to flatten it in the center or pinch it together in the center. Make sure they're all together and even. And once you have it pinched in the center, you're going to fold it in half and press that together. It's a lot of ribbon to get through, but we're going to do it. I like to hold the one side in because sometimes when you're cutting, it will all push out the other side. The reason we cut it now toward the center is to give us some space so that we can actually manipulate the loops of the bow, okay? Watch, I promise you, this is so simple. Do it once or twice and you're going to be fine. So, as I said, this ribbon is thick, so I have to cut through it carefully, but still evenly. There's one side. Now let's get the other side. Okay. And I'm going to just do a little bit more. The whole idea here is to give me a sort of center angled spot so that now when I knot it to the package, it will give me what I said, which is the room to move the loops. Now, when you have that much ribbon and it's so thick, sometimes what I'll do is this. I'll turn it over. You'll see there's very little cutting there, and I'll just trim a little bit of that. Okay? And this all, whether or not you need to do that, all is determined by the thickness and type of ribbon that you have. And please make sure you have a really sharp scissors on hand. Okay? So, there we've got it. Now, we open this back up, okay, there it is. We put it into the center of our knot, and we tie it down. It really is that simple, okay? And I'm going to put a knot in it so it won't come undone. And guess what? That is like 75% of it right there. I'm going to trim my tails right now just because I like to do it sooner than later because it makes it a little bit easier. Now, the trick is making sure that you open up these loops properly. It's real simple. You're going to alternate back and forth. One down, left and right, okay? Then up to the right, down to the left, pull it through. You're just going to alternate sides and up and down. So down and up and down. Okay? Now, don't worry about how that looks yet because we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And then we'll play with the loops a little bit. You're also going to have a couple of short ends or tails from when you actually made the loops of the bow. And that's great because we just sort of get those into the whole look of the package when it's done. Okay? And another one. This is a really wonderful, really heavy ribbon. Most types of ribbons work really well. I use all kinds of ribbon when I'm wrapping gifts at the holidays. And this one is almost like a wired satin ribbon. Now, once they're all out, what you do is simply play with your loops. And because it's wired ribbon, they stand up very nicely. In this case, I love that you can see the green coming out inside as well. Okay, but let's get a few more of these. And the trick now is just to make sure that all your loops are standing free, that they're not bunching together. And each one is in its sort of own direction. Guess what? Voila! There's your finished package. And then, guys, here's another little thing I do. I love, love, love buying all of these. These are scrapbooking pieces. These are Christmas snowflakes and little holiday signs and terrific gift tags. There is a nutcracker with his furry beard. And I love to take these and I love to add them to my packages. I think we're going to take the red cardinal and the Noel. It makes it feel very, very traditional and sort of old-fashioned Christmas. I just added that to the bottom of the ribbon, and we'll add in our nutcracker gift tag, and there you go. It's fantastic, right? So very simple. You see, it took me about 2 minutes to make it, and sort of just pan across here. Here are some packages I already wrapped, and I used just some fun things here. There is a small pheasant with feathers. There's some gold ribbon and some other applique, little stick-on letters, Noel. Some really great wire ribbon here. This is actually a handbag for my mother. Don't tell her. But I don't have a great box for it, and I wasn't going to go searching for a box. I actually took the shopping bag from Macy's that it was in, added tissue paper to it, folded it over, added some of those stickers, made the bow, and the really terrific gift tag with jingle bells on it. Boom, we're done. All right? Try it yourself. It's really easy. A couple of bows, and you'll be ready to go. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great holiday season.